Hello, good evening from wherever you are watching me today. My name is Choma Odikulu. You're all welcome to our wonderful platform, Becoming a Renewed Parent, and you're welcome to our weekly book review. So, for this week, we'll continue with our book review, and we've been reviewing this book, How Successful People Grow by John Maxwell. How Successful People Grow by John Maxwell. So, why did we pick up this book? We picked up this book because we want to grow. We want to learn the strategies that can help us as individuals, as parents, to grow. We want to know what successful people have done and how we can emulate what they have done. I can see Mrs. Margaret Toyin. Thank you for watching me, or thank you for coming live, ma. So we want to see what successful people have done, and we want to learn from them. So today we'll be reviewing this book, How Successful People Grow by John Maxwell, and we'll be reviewing three chapters, chapter 5, chapter 6, and chapter 7. So chapter 5, we just go straight into our conversation of today because of time. So chapter 5 is Embrace Discipline Daily. So if we must grow as parents, if we must be successful, we have to embrace discipline daily. We have to embrace discipline in our decisions daily. And when we talk of discipline, sometimes most of us confuse discipline with punishment. But discipline and punishment are totally different. Discipline is completely different from punishment. We must embrace discipline daily. What is discipline? Discipline is structure. Discipline is system. Discipline is teaching. Discipline is guidance. That is what discipline is, which is completely different from punishment. So if we must grow as parents, we must constantly embrace discipline daily. Discipline in everything we do, discipline in our thoughts, discipline in our actions, discipline in our conversations, discipline in our discussions, discipline in the way we even live our lives, and discipline in the way we raise our children. So discipline is very important for us as parents if we must grow. Now we must understand that motivation gets us going, but discipline keeps us growing. Sometimes as a parent, you can be motivated to do something. Oh, I want to do this, I want to do this. You're motivated and you start. Do you know the only thing that will keep you growing on that particular thing is discipline? Sometimes some of us are excited. Oh, I want to create my goals. I want to create my objectives, what I want to achieve. New Year resolution. Yes. A good number of us created New Year resolution. And after 5 days, we've forgotten what we created. It's motivation that gets us to that point of doing something. But what makes us to keep at it is discipline. So discipline is very important. Now, as parents, we must also remember, if we must be successful, if we must grow the way successful people have grown, we must grow in consistency. We must be consistent in what we do. We must be consistent in our growth process. We must be consistent in our transformation process. We don't say, you don't do something today and tomorrow you've not done it. We must be consistent even when we don't see the results, even when people don't even believe in our message, but we must keep at it. We must be consistent. Now, there are some questions we need to ask ourselves if we must grow. Now, one of the questions is, do we know what we need to improve on? So as a parent, you're on this journey of growth. You're on this journey of transformation. You want to grow, you want to transform yourself. Do you know what exactly you need to improve on? Do you know the areas you need to work on? Do you know the areas that you're incompetent in? Do you consciously know the areas you're incompetent in? Or do we unconsciously not know the areas we are incompetent in? So we must first of all come to this point of self-awareness where we know what we need to improve on. What are the areas you need to improve on as a parent? Do you need to grow your job, your career, your parenting, managing your emotions, different things? There are so many areas we can improve on. So the first point, of being self-aware is for us getting to that point that we ask ourselves, what are the things I need to improve on? What are the things I need to work on myself? Now, the second question I'll ask us today is, do we know how we are supposed to improve? Now, after asking ourselves, what are the things I need to improve on? After getting the answer on the things we need to work on, the next question is, how are we supposed to improve? How am I going to get this improvement from? Do I need to reach out to a coach? Do I need to reach out to a mentor? Do I need to attend a course? Do I need to read a book? Do I need to speak to someone? Do I need to ask someone for help? So we need to get to the point of asking ourselves, how am I going to improve? How can I be better? What are the things I need to do for me to be better? And some of the things we can begin to do is to reach out to mentors, coaches, those that are successful in that area we want to grow in, and speak to them. Another thing we need to do as parents is that we need to be motivated. We need to motivate ourselves from the inside. Sometimes we could be motivated externally. People can motivate us here and there, but the biggest motivation is the motivation that comes from within. That is the motivation we give to ourselves. So if we must grow, if we must transform ourselves, it has to come from within. We have to motivate ourselves from within. And one of the ways we can motivate ourselves is looking at our personalities. Now, there's this classification of personalities. I think there's this book, Why You Act the Way You Do. Yes. It classifies different personalities: phlegmatic, sanguine, choleric, melancholy, and phlegmatic. So first of all, as a parent, you need to ask yourself, what personality type am I? Because we are all different. There are some people that are more of a sanguine. There are some people that are more of a choleric. There are some people that are more of melancholy, and there are some people that are more phlegmatic. So for you to be motivated, you have to attach your personality type with what you want to achieve. Now, I'm going to give an example. For example, a phlegmatic person, you need to check your strengths. What is the strength of a phlegmatic person? A phlegmatic person is someone that is easygoing. You're welcome, sir. Thank you for joining us. Yes, a phlegmatic person is someone that is easygoing and likable. So you need to connect your personality type, which is being a phlegmatic, to the goal you want to achieve. For example, if you're a phlegmatic person, you can motivate yourself by finding the value in what you need to do. So if you are this kind of person that is easygoing, you are likable, you can motivate yourself by finding value in what you want to do, asking yourself, what value am I going to get from this thing I want to do? What value am I going to get from transforming myself? What value am I going to get from improving myself? What value am I going to get from growing myself? That is it for a melancholy. Then another example, if you're a choleric, what is the strength of a choleric? A choleric person, one of their strengths is that they take charge easily and they make decisions quickly, and their weakness is that they refuse to participate when they are not in charge. So how can you now attach your motivation to this, your personality type? So for a choleric person, you can motivate yourself by focusing on the choices you can make, because choleric people are good on making decisions. Every person is in charge of his or her own growth. We are all in charge of our growth. No one is responsible for our growth. We have the responsibility to grow. We have the responsibility to improve. We have the responsibility to renew ourselves. We have the responsibility to continue to improve on ourselves. So we have to choose, we have to make the decision to be on this journey of constant renewal. Then for a sanguine person, one of the strengths of a sanguine person is that they are fun-loving. They often, they are life of the party. They are everywhere. Sanguines are everywhere. So that kind of person that is fun-loving. They are everywhere. They easily make friends. So how can you now attach your motivation with your personality type? So if you're a sanguine, you can motivate yourself to grow by making a game of it. If that seems impossible, then give yourself rewards. You can give yourself reward for success. You can give yourself reward for incremental success. You can give yourself reward for making progress. That is one of the ways you can attach, or you can attach your personality to what you want to achieve. That is your goal. Then for a melancholy person, what is their strength? A melancholy person, their strength is that they are perfectionists. So that person that is always wanting perfection. They are perfectionists with great attention to detail. And one of their weaknesses is that they are usually afraid of making mistakes. So if you know you're afraid of making mistakes and you're a perfectionist type of person, how can you stay motivated? Now, you can motivate yourself by focusing on the joy of learning details. Since you're already a detail person by being a melancholy, so you can motivate yourself by focusing on the joy of learning details and the potential for developing a level of mastery. Since you're more of a detail person, you want it perfect, you can attach your motivation to learning details. You can now attach your motivation to focus on mastering that thing you want to improve on. So those are the ways we can improve on ourselves. Now, as parents, we must remember that we have to start from the simple stuff. We have to start from the baby steps. Even when you want to grow, we want to renew ourselves. You don't just come one day and say, I'm going to do everything today. It has to be like an incremental system. You need to start from the small, then over time you get to improve, so you don't overwhelm yourself. So if you say, I'm going to read a book, I'm going to attend a course, I'm going to do something that is going to improve my career, you're going to start little by little till you get to that very big goal. Because if you just start with a very big goal, you might just overwhelm yourself. Then we must learn to be patient with ourselves. Growth, as is said, is noiseless. When you're growing, sometimes as a parent, when you're improving and working on your journey, no one can really hear that you're growing. No one can hear the sound because growth is noiseless. And at this point, most of the times, we are usually discouraged. Oh my God, am I sure I really want to do this? Am I sure? Am I not wasting my time? Nobody even sees me. Nobody understands me. Nobody is seeing that I'm growing. The truth is that we must be patient with ourselves. In this journey of growth, in this journey of success, we must be patient with ourselves, because impatience is one of our greatest weaknesses. One of our greatest weaknesses in life is impatience. Just check it. Most times we are impatient with a lot of things. We are impatient with ourselves. We hardly forgive ourselves. We hardly extend grace to ourselves. You make a mistake and you're feeling bad. You want to kill yourself. Your emotions are everywhere. So we must practice this act of being patient first to ourselves, because impatience is one of our greatest weaknesses. We must understand that growth takes time. It takes time to grow, and we must learn to value our process. The process of every one of us here as a parent is totally different, because we are all different. We must learn to value our process. We must learn to value our baby steps. When we are making little progress here and there, we must learn to appreciate and value it. And don't wait till you get everything fixed 100% before you now appreciate yourself. At some point, we must learn to appreciate our little steps. You're making effort. For example, you read a page of a book today. Appreciate it. For example, you did not yell or you did not shout at your children. Appreciate it. For example, you were kind to yourself. You made a mistake and you did not feel the whole world has ended. Celebrate it. We must learn to value our process, because one of the best things we can do for ourselves as learners is to cultivate the ability to value and enjoy the process of growth. We must cultivate the ability to value and enjoy the process of growth, because growth is a journey. Growth is a process. It's a journey. We have to work on that journey, and we have to value our process. Then the next question we can ask ourselves as parents: do we know why we want to keep improving? So why do you want to keep improving? Why do you want to grow as a parent? Why do you want to transform yourself? Why do you want to be better? Why do you want to renew yourself? Why do you want to be a better version of yourself? That is the question we need to sit down with. Because when we know the why, somehow we are motivated, because our why sometimes drives us. We need to grow because we need to impact our world. We need to first of all impact ourselves. We need to reparent ourselves. We need to recreate ourselves. Yes, we need to recreate ourselves. We need to work on our journey, then before we can now transfer to every other person around us, our husbands, our wives, and our children. So we need to know the why. We need to know why we want to keep improving. And the next question: do we know when we are supposed to improve? When are you supposed to grow as a parent? The truth is that The best time was yesterday, but the next best time is now. The best time to start improving and growing on yourself is right now. The best time to start growing on yourself, to start improving, working on your journey is right now. So don't wait till tomorrow. Don't say, oh, I'm still young, my children are still little, I don't need to grow, I don't need to read a book, I just need to be doing my thing, I've still got time. No, the best time to start your growth journey is right now. And finally, on this chapter, I want to encourage us to have this mindset of growth, to be growth conscious, not just goal conscious, because most times we are conscious of our goals, we want to make our goals and achieve them. But what if we begin to shift our mindset from just achieving our goals to being growth conscious? Now, what is the difference between being goal conscious, that is achieving your goal, and being growth conscious? Number one, when you are goal conscious, when you're conscious of reaching your goal, you focus just on a destination. For example, you have a goal of getting to a particular distance. That is your goal. Your focus is just to get to that distance. But when you are growth conscious, your focus change from getting to a destination to being on a journey. So you're not just focused on getting to this end point, but you now understand that you're on a journey. Even when you achieve that your goal, even when you hit that your goal, you don't relax. You don't sit down and say, oh my God, I've achieved my goal. You continue because you're on a journey. When you're goal conscious, you motivate yourself and others. But when you're conscious of your growth as a person or parent, you mature yourself and others. You focus on improving, you focus on maturing yourself, you focus on renewing yourself, you focus on improving yourself on a daily basis if you're conscious of growth. Now, goal, when we are conscious of our goal, most times it can be seasonal. For example, you make a goal, like some of us made New Year resolutions. You say, okay, I'll make New Year resolutions. I'm going to achieve my resolution maybe January, February, and it's just seasonal. Or you make a goal and you say, I want to achieve this goal this month, which is November. But when you're growth conscious, anything you're doing is lifelong. So you're making a goal not just for a season, not just for a limited period of time, but your goal is lifelong. Let me give you an example. If you're making a goal to improve on to reduce your weight, to work on your weight, if you're goal conscious, you might be conscious of the fact that, okay, I want to reduce my weight to a certain level, and when I get to that point, I'm going to stop exercising, I'm going to stop doing everything I'm doing. But when you're conscious of your growth, you get to this point of understanding that working on my weight or working on myself, it's a journey, it's lifelong. I'm not going to stop when I hit a particular goal. I'm not going to stop when I reduce my weight as I want, but I'm going to continue this fitness program because it's lifelong. So when you're conscious of your growth, you're conscious of making choices that are lifelong. Then being goal conscious, you challenge yourself, but being growth conscious, you change yourself. You change yourself by the books you read, the seminars you attend, the courses, the people you reach out to, by working on yourself. And when you're goal conscious, goal stop where your goal is reached, as I said earlier. When you reach your goal, you stop. But when you're growth conscious, you keep on growing beyond the goal. So even when you achieve your goal, you continue to grow. So it's very important for us as parents to be conscious of our growth, to be conscious of growing and not just conscious of the goal. Then the second chapter we're going to study, we'll study chapter 6, which is seek out a positive environment. So if we must grow as parents, if we must be successful, we have to intentionally seek out a positive environment. The kind of environment that supports our growth, the kind of environment that nurtures us, the kind of environment that improves us on a daily basis. So how is your environment? Should I tell you something? Your biggest and your first environment is you. Me, myself, I am my biggest and my first environment. So what is my environment like? Does my environment support my growth? That is the question we should ask ourselves, because growth thrives in conducive surroundings. Growth thrives in conducive surroundings. When your surroundings, when your environment does not support growth, definitely growth is not going to happen there. Now you must assess your current environment. To seek out a positive environment, you must first of all come to this point of assessing your current environment, assessing the point you're in. What is in my current environment? Who are the people I'm relating with? What are the things I feel myself with on a daily basis? What are the things, voices I allow to come into me on a daily basis? That is part of assessing your current environment. Assessing yourself. Are you improving? Are you growing? Are you renewing yourself? Who are the people that make up your circle? Are they helping you to grow, or are they helping you to go down? Do you have the kind of friends that when you want to read a book and they start laughing at you? We need to come to this point of understanding our current environment. Then when you understand your current environment, you then move to changing yourself and your environment. If you get to this point of realizing that, okay, this environment does not suit me, does not serve me, I need to work on my environment, I need to improve on my environment, we need to get to that point of changing ourselves. And one of the ways we can change ourselves is by improving, by studying, by reading. And one of the ways we can change our environment is by changing the circle, ensuring you go for the right circle that will support your growth, that will support your improvements. Because when we change our environment and ourselves, growth will be faster and more successful. So if we want our growth to be faster, if we want our growth to be more successful, we must change our environment and ourselves such that it suits and it fits our growth journey. And the next thing we need to do is to change whom we spend our time with. Who do you spend your time with? Do you know that your time is your life? According to my coach, she always tells us that our time is our life. So every minute of your time spent can never be regained again. Every second of your life spent can never be regained again. So we need to change who we spend our time with. Who do you listen to? What voices do you listen to? The people you spend your time with are the people that will either make or mar you. Are the people that will either help you to grow or help you to not to grow. So you need to check who you spend your time with. Spend your time with people that will add value to you. Spend your time with people that are going to be a blessing to you. Spend your time with people that will speak positively into your life. Spend your time with people that whenever you remember, you think of them, you're motivated, you're encouraged to continue your journey of growth. Don't spend your time on people that will ridicule your growth. Don't spend your time with people that will demean your growth. Don't spend your time with people that will make nonsense of your growth. Don't spend your time with people that will laugh at you when you want to read a book, or when you want to buy a course, or you want to buy a book or do something that will improve yourself. So who do you spend your time with? Your time is your life. And in this 21st century, you don't necessarily have to see someone physically to spend your time with a person. We spend time with people in different ways. You can spend time with someone on social media even without seeing or knowing the person. You can spend time with someone in another part of the world that you've not met. So who do you spend your time with? The voices you listen to, are they adding to you, or are they reducing from you? Are they stealing away your time? Our time is precious, and any time lost can never and never ever be regained again. So we must intentionally work and see that we improve. We check, assess who we spend our time with. If the people you're spending your time with are not serving you, they are not helping you get your decision, what if you change it? What if you look at it and say, okay, what do I need to do in this area? Because we all need to grow. And if we must embark on this journey, we have to watch who we spend our time with, because time is the greatest currency. I can see it in the comment section. Yes, time is our greatest currency. So how are you using your currency of time? The truth is that the years are passing, but sometimes we just think we have time. You know, the years are passing. The years are passing. Time is going. We don't have this time that we think we have. Time is the currency of destiny. You know, this year is gone. Next year comes. You know, we keep growing. We're increasing in age. But our time, what are you using with? What are you spending your time with? That is the question. we should ask ourselves. Then the next thing we should do as parents is to challenge ourselves in our new environment. Even when you get to that new environment, even when you change your circle, even when you begin to listen to people that will improve you, challenge yourself. Don't just sit down and be relaxed. Don't just sit down and feel, okay, I've changed my environment, I don't need to do anything. No, we need to challenge ourselves. We need to do things that we need to set higher goals. You need to read more. You need to attend courses more. You need to do things that will challenge your growth, things that will motivate you, things that will move you to want to grow. That is what we need to do. And while we are doing this, we can ask ourselves some questions. What are our strengths? What is your strength as a parent? Do we even understand our strength? The truth is that some of us don't even know our strengths. But we need to get to that point of reflection, of realizing what our strength is. What are we learning now? So what are you learning now? So if I ask you as a parent, what are you currently learning? What are you currently doing to improve and grow yourself? What would our response be? What do you need right now? What do you need right now as a parent? What is your priority? What is your priority right now? Your priority, are you giving attention to your priority? Are you giving attention to what you need right now? We all need to grow. That is the need of the hour, because we can't pour from an empty cup. We need to become, first of all, before our children become. So it's the need of the hour. Now, we must also understand that we need to intentionally work on ourselves. And when we ask all these questions, we can go out to seek for help. How can I be helped? How can I get help? Who do I need to speak to? If we're struggling as a parent, if you're struggling, if you need to speak to someone, reach out, speak to someone. And we must learn to focus on the moment. We must learn to focus on our present. We must not dwell so much in the past. The truth is that the past hinders us. When we dwell so much on the regrets of the past, maybe you say, oh my God, I'm growing, I'm 40, I'm 34, I'm 35. Oh, what did I do with those years? My years of being a teenager, the years of being a young adult, in my 20s, what did I do? The truth is that when we begin to entertain those thoughts, we start to limit ourselves. We start to feel bad, and that is not what we want to do. We should learn to focus on the moment, focus on your growth. What can you do now? What can you do now to be a better version of yourself? What can I do now to be a better version of myself? What can I do now to grow myself? That is the question we should ask ourselves. You're listening to me. What can you do right now to grow, to improve, to renew yourself, to be a better version of yourself? Forget about the past. Forget about what you would have done last year, this year. The question is now. What can we do now? Then we must move forward despite criticism. Criticism will come on the way. A lot of people will criticize you. A lot of people will criticize us. A lot of people will not even buy into our message. A lot of people will even laugh at you and say, why you're growing? What are you reading? You're reading a book. Oh my God. Is this book going to solve the problem of the country? There will be criticism here and there, but we must keep our eyes focused on the goal. We must keep our eyes focused on the goal. And what is this goal? This goal is where we are going. Our growth, our renewal, we transforming ourselves to be a better version of ourselves, to begin to live our lives in the way God has called us to do. So we must understand that it's very important we pay close attention to our environment. And some of the questions we can ask ourselves to see if we have a positive environment is, number one, we need to ask ourselves, in my environment, the people I'm surrounded with, are other people around me ahead of me in learning? So the people you associate yourself with, the people you listen to, the voices you listen to, your friends, you associate yourself, are they ahead of you in learning? Or are you ahead of them? That is something you need to listen, you need to reflect on. The other question we need to ask ourselves is that, am I continually challenged? So in your current environment, are you challenged to be a better version of yourself? If you are challenged to be a better version of yourself, then you're in a positive environment. If other people are ahead of you in learning, then you're in a positive environment because you get to learn from them. The other question we ask ourselves, what is the focus in my environment? This circle I'm keeping, what is their focus? Are they focused on the forward? Are they focused on their goals? Are they focused on achieving their goals? That is what we need to ask ourselves. Now, we also need to ask ourselves, my current environment, is the atmosphere affirming? Am I affirmed by the people I surround myself with? Am I affirmed by my environment? The people around me, my friends, the voices I listen to, do they affirm me? Do they support what I do? Do they support my message? Do they support my growth journey? Now, another question we need to ask ourselves, am I often out of my comfort zone? A positive environment will sometimes stretch us. We stretch us out of our comfort zone, and that is the place we want to be. We don't want to be in a place that we are all sitting, relaxed, and not doing anything. Now, the other question we ask ourselves, in this my space, in this my environment, these people I surround myself, even with myself, do I wake up excited? Do I wake up looking forward to achieving my goals? Do I wake up doing exploits? That is the question we need to ask ourselves. Now, we must always remember that failure is not our enemy. Failure is not our enemy. When we fail, we get up, we dust ourselves, we reflect and ask questions. How did I feel? Why did I fail? What would I have done? What can I do better next time? And we use it as opportunity to learn, and we continue to move forward. We continue on our journey. When we fail, probably you want to read a book and you said you're going to read a page of a book every day and you were not able to read a page today. When you realize it, don't start feeling bad, wailing and feeling bad that you did not read, you did not meet up to what's your goal. You get up, you dust yourself, just ask yourself questions. Why did I not read my book today? What would I have done? What did I do? And what can I do better next time? So failure is not our enemy. Then the other things we need to ask ourselves, in my space, in my environment, are other people growing? Are other people growing with me? That is what we want. We want a space where other people are growing alongside with us. Now, do people desire change? My environment, do they desire change? The people I associate myself with, do they desire positive change? Or are they relaxed? Are they just fixed and relaxed? Okay, we've achieved this, nothing else. No, we need to go and seek out that environment that will always change us to improve positively. Then growth is modeled and expected. Growth is modeled and expected. We want to grow. We should reach out to those people that are already on that same journey as us and learn from them, model them, read their books, attend their courses, attend their webinars. That way it will help us to grow, and it's also a way of building a positive environment for ourselves. Then finally, chapter 7, becoming highly strategic. So if we must grow as parents, we have to intentionally become highly strategic. To maximize our growth, we must develop strategies. We must develop strategies. Yes, we are reading, we are working on our journey. We must develop strategies. Then the writer made mention here. He said, life is very simple, but keeping it that way is very difficult. Sometimes the things we need to do, the little things of life are the things we need to do. We don't need to do so much, but we think we need to do so much. The little things of life are the things we need to do. Things like reflecting. We don't need so much to reflect. What you need is your paper, your book, and your pen to reflect. You don't need to go somewhere to reflect. You don't need to travel somewhere special to reflect. Things like going out of your environment, maybe just enjoying the nature. It's simple. Things like growing, maybe reading a page of a book. It's simple. The little things of life are very important. So we should not complicate this, because sometimes when we complicate these things, it makes us feel like, oh, this thing is hard. This growth journey is hard. But we should learn to appreciate the little things of life. We should learn to appreciate the little things around us. We should learn to appreciate those things that God has just given us, that we're not paying for per se. Like you're not stressing yourself so much. It's just there. We should learn to appreciate those little things. Then we must also design our life, because it's more important for us to design our life. We have to set a roadmap. We have to set the right strategy for our life, for our growth. Where are we going in the next 1 year, in the next 2 years? Where am I going? Where am I heading? What is my goal? What do I want to achieve? What do I want to do? We must always remember as parents that life is not a dress rehearsal. Life is not like a dress rehearsal where you say, oh, let me come and rehearse and go back and come and live life to its fullest. No, life is a stage. We come to this stage, we live, we 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 just act on this stage. We're not rehearsing, we just live our life on this stage. So how would you want to live your life? Would you want to live your life like, okay, like a rehearsal? Okay, let me just rehearse, let me just do my thing. I'm not reading, I'm not growing. I've my parents now, I don't need to grow. Then when I go back, I'll come, when I come back to another life, I'll do all those things. No, life is not a dress rehearsal. We're here, we're on the stage, we're playing and acting, and time is going, time is ticking, lives are being formed. You have children, what you know, you teach your children are growing, their lives are being formed, their life is formed. You will not go back out of this world and say, let me come back again and start where I stopped. No, it's not a dress rehearsal. So it's our responsibility to take our growth journey seriously, because there will never be a time that we'll go and come back and start growing again. There will never be a time where we'll say, okay, I'm coming back, let me continue my growth journey where I said, let me improve, let me renew myself. No, we're on this stage, we are all playing this, we're all acting on this stage. So how would you want to act your play? Would you want to act? Would you want to live a life that, okay, when you're no more here on earth, you'll be remembered for your contributions, for your journey, for your renewal, for your growth? That is what we should be focused on. Now, we must remember that in planning our life, the writer suggested that we should make room, like multiplying everything you need to do by 2. So, for example, if you need to read a book for 10 minutes, you can multiply by 2 and give yourself 20 minutes to avoid stress, to avoid feeling anxious or feeling overwhelmed. So it's just a rule the writer suggested. So if you need to do anything, multiply by 2. You need to prepare for work, 10 minutes, you need usually use 10 minutes, multiply by 2 and give yourself 20 minutes. You need to go out somewhere, you need 30 minutes to go there, multiply by 2 and give yourself 1 hour. It will help you to reduce stress. And finally, if we must develop strategies, we must depend on systems. We must depend on systems. What is a system? A system is a process for predicting how we achieve our goal based on specific, orderly, repeatable principles and practices. A system is a process for predictably achieving a goal based on specific, orderly, repeatable principles and practices. So we must leverage on systems. We cannot just do life alone. We can't just set our goals, and sometimes you might not even be motivated. What might motivate you is those systems you've set, those systems you've put in place for you. Now we must understand that an effective system takes the big picture into account. An effective system is not just being focused on your goal per se. An effective system is focused on your growth. An effective system is the system that focuses on you being a better person. An effective system is that system that focuses on you, on your priorities, what you want to do now, what is of more priority to you right now, what is of most valuable use of your time right now. That is what an effective system focuses on. And obviously, our most valuable use of our time right now is our growth, our renewal, our becoming, so our children will become. Then finally, we must put in the work as parents. Our growth is dependent on us. Our growth is not dependent on anybody. We must be consistent. We must be organized. We must put in discipline. We must put in the work to grow. If we must grow, if we must become, if we must be a better version of ourselves, if we must even reparent ourselves, as my coach always say, or if we must recreate ourselves, we must grow. We must become. And growth does not just fall on our heads. Growth does not fall on anybody. We must go out to seek this growth. We must go out to seek this transformation that we all desire. And everything starts from us making the first step and taking the first move. So we have come to the end of our book review today. Thank you for listening to me. I really do appreciate your time. Thank you. You can catch a replay of this class. Yeah, the replay link will be dropped for us to catch a replay. Thank you very much, and do have a great time. And we're having our weekly webinar shortly. Thank you and bye.